For the Google SketchUp project, we are going to start by going to Google Chrome. And once that is open, we're going to go to the address bar and we can type in SketchUp space free and hit enter, and it should pull up SketchUp free as one of the top options that you can choose from. Once we select that, it takes us into the site and we're going to click Start Modeling. It does take a moment to load, but this will allow you to access SketchUp from any of the school computers or from a home computer, and you can save your work and pull it up there as well. Once it loads, we're going to start modeling, and then the first time you open it up you should have to click I agree and then hit OK. Now, SketchUp is a program that we'll use for 3D design and modeling, and so we'll use it for creating items from our classroom to prepare us for making projects. On the main page you will see a guide that is here for scale and reference. So if we build a house and it only comes up to his knees, then we know that the house is probably not a full-size scale house, more of a dollhouse size. Tools that we'll be using: over on the left side we've got the arrow for selecting, the eraser tool, the rectangle tool, push-pull, tape measure tool, and down here we have what's called orbit. So if we start with that one, the orbit tool, select it, and then we click and drag the mouse. It orbits or rotates around the object that we've created. Also in that selection you can choose the hand, which is pan, and this allows you to move stuff side to side or up and down so it's more direct in your line of sight. For starters, we're going to select the rectangle tool. And for the rectangle tool, we are going to go out into the open area on the ground, and I'm going to click and release the mouse button. So I don't have my hands on the mouse button anymore, but I'm going to slide the mouse forward, and you can see it starts to create a open rectangle or square. Down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen it says dimensions, and if we look at that, it says it's 3 feet 8 5/16 inches by 5 feet 11 inches. If I start typing a number, that will clear out and replaced by the number I type. So if I type 5, 8 and hit enter, it set it to 5 inches by 8 inches. Now if I want to create one that's 5 feet by 8 feet, I would have to type 5 apostrophe 8 apostrophe. So now it's notated as feet. And if I hit enter, it created a 5 by 8 rectangle on the ground. So if we look at those, we've got 5 feet by 8 inches, 5 feet by 8 feet, and 5 inches by 8 inches. Now we can take that a step further and make it three-dimensional. Right now it's only got 2 dimensions, length and width. If we grab the push-pull tool, and we'll bring it over here, and as soon as I move it over the top of the shape, it will turn it to a shaded color. So I'm going to click and release, and then just slide the mouse up, and it starts to create a three-dimensional shape. I want to go ahead and make this 4 feet tall, so 4 apostrophe enter, and it is now three-dimensional. And I can do the same down here for this one and just make it 4 inches tall. One of the cool things about this software is it allows us to modify what we've already created. I'm going to use the hand tool, and I'm going to get a little bit further over. There we go. Excuse me. One of the tools that we can also use is the tape measure tool. So if I select that, I'm going to bring it over to the edge here, and I want a line that is parallel to this side, but I want it to be 1 foot away. So if I click and move the mouse away from there, I can again just type 1 apostrophe enter, and it creates a 1 foot line parallel to the side. I can do the same from the top. Click and release, move the mouse down, 1' enter, and it just set it to a 1 foot by 1 foot square. From here I can use the rectangle tool, create a box inside of there, and it will snap automatically to that intersection. So now I have a separate piece. So if I grab the select tool, I have that, and then I have the rest of it as well. Using the push-pull tool, I can select just that one little square and then push it in, and I could remove part of the block, or if I go all the way to the back edge, it will turn to a darker color right there, and it should say on edge. So if I click again, it just removed that whole section. We can utilize this tool to create different types of shapes and manipulate what we're working with. For the first project, you just create this same shape and setup and then modify it a little bit. So maybe you want to switch from the rectangle tool to the circle and start creating some different shapes. We can have shapes sticking out, or we can have them going all the way through, creating windows, doors, openings, and you can kind of just have fun with it and learn to use the program. To save your progress, we're going to go up to the Save button up top, click Save, and it gives me an error the first time I try to do this. It says our login window has blocked your browser. So we're going to go up to the address bar, and there's a little box up here with the red X. Click on that, and then I choose Allow Pop-ups from SketchUp.com. Hit Done, then OK. And now if I try it, it should allow me to log into my Google account. There we go. Sign in with Google. And you would just use your school account. And log in. Perfect. So now I am logged in. I can go back in there, and when I save it, it now gives me the option to save it in the SketchUp folder, and we want to title it with the hour of tech that you're in. So if you're in third hour, you would do 3 and call it your first sketch with your username in there. We're going to do that after the hour. There we go. So 3, username, and then first sketch, and click Save. And that's it for the first project.